Hey everyone, today's tip is on how to give or receive recommendations, or rather ask for recommendations on LinkedIn. Having recommendations on LinkedIn is really powerful and helpful to you building your thought leadership because, first of all, when someone gives you a recommendation on LinkedIn, anyone reading your profile can click on that person's LinkedIn profile and see that it's actually another professional on LinkedIn. Whereas when you have testimonies or quotes from other people on your website or on your resume or anywhere else, it's hard to know if that person really exists and genuinely gave you that recommendation. It's also social proof and gives you credibility. So make sure when you're getting a recommendation that you sprinkle in the keywords that determine what you want to be known for. In my case, I'm a LinkedIn coach, consultant, and trainer focused specifically on helping women leaders and businesses build their brand, their thought leadership, showcase their expertise. So when I ask someone for a recommendation around this area of expertise, I do ask them to include those keywords. So I recommend you do the same. So how do you ask for recommendations? Let's start with that. So you go to your LinkedIn profile and you scroll down. You go all the way down past your featured section, your activity, your about section, your experience, your education, your skills, till you come to recommendations. So you can see, first of all, if you go to someone else's profile, you can read through all the recommendations that they've received. So if you're looking to hire someone either for a job or to speak at on one of your podcasts or at an event, or you want to hire them for their services, you can check out their recommendations. But you can also ask for recommendations. So you click on the plus sign, and then you'll see in the drop down box, it'll say ask for a recommendation and give a recommendation. So I'm going to click on ask for a recommendation. And there are a couple of people that I want to ask for recommendations for the work I did with them around LinkedIn. So one of them is Anju Mercian. Anju Mercian. So I click on her, then I continue. So you'll see, once you click on the person's name, you'll see in this drop down box your relationship with the person, your position at that time, and what kind of personalized message you want to include. Now, also remember, you have to be a first degree connection to ask for recommendation. So Anju is my first degree connection. So how do you know Anju? So Anju and I work together, but at different companies. So I select that. What was my position at that time? I was a LinkedIn trainer, coach, and consultant. And now I could just send Anju a message. Hi, Anju, would you write me a recommendation, please? Now, a couple of things. First of all, when you're asking someone for a recommendation, I think it's nice if you also send them a direct message via LinkedIn, or you could maybe send them an email and say, hey, I'm going to be requesting you for a recommendation on LinkedIn, or maybe even share what you want them to include, like not where they copy and paste, but in this case, for instance, Anju is in my LinkedIn Thought Leadership Academy. I did a one-on-one LinkedIn profile review with her. I also spoke to a group that she co-leads, Women Who Code Silicon Valley. I did a workshop on leveraging LinkedIn. So when I either email Anju first and say, Anju, I'm going to be sending you a recommendation request on LinkedIn, and can you cover these areas? And again, these are my keywords, right? Can you say how, as a LinkedIn coach, I helped you with your LinkedIn profile optimization, and how I also am doing group coaching and consulting inside the LinkedIn Thought Leadership Academy. And I was a speaker trainer at Women Who Code Silicon Valley. I did a virtual workshop on leveraging LinkedIn. So could you include those in the recommendation, and also let me know what you got out of it, what your takeaways were, what you liked about it. So you're giving her something to go with, and also making sure that those keywords are included. Now I can send an email with those suggestions, and I can also include it in the personalized message. And then it makes it so much easier for the person to put together the recommendation, and you can make sure your keywords are included. But again, getting recommendations from people is so important for you, or is another way for you to showcase your thought leadership, build your brand expertise, and get, as I said before, social proof and credibility. And then I could send it. Okay. But I'm not going to send it. I'm going to go back, and let's move this out of the way and click on this, because I also want to show you how to, let me get this message out of the way. I just got a message from someone and I don't want, let me get that out of that message. Oh my gosh, it's all going a little crazy. So I say discard this for now and get out of this message. And so now if I want someone, I want to give a recommendation to someone, I'll say, so maybe I want to recommend someone. So I'm going to select one of my clients, my LinkedIn one-on-one coaching clients. I'm also consulting for her company, and I do training, LinkedIn training workshops for her employees and help them optimize their profiles and presence and leadership on LinkedIn. So I would include her name in the search, and then I would continue, and I would select the relationship. She worked with me, but at different companies. Position at this, and I'm giving her a recommendation. So I want to say how much I value having her as a client, and how she has put in, amazing work to get to where she is today on LinkedIn. And she was also recently a speaker at my Ignite Your Power event. So I also would include how she was a very powerful speaker and inspired and empowered many women in the audience. So I'm giving her a recommendation. Now, she hasn't asked me for one, but I also think you need to give as much as you receive, especially with people that you really have enjoyed working with, that you think you should showcase as experts in their field. So this is what I would do. I'm again not going to send it now, but then I would write the recommendation. What happens is she would see it, and then she can decide whether she wants to add it to her profile or she wants me to add something else. It gives you that opportunity as well. So I'm just going to go get out of this for now. And I just want to show you one last thing. So yeah, so you can see all the recommendations I've received, all the recommendations I've given, because people also want to, it's not just about, as a thought leader, as an expert, it's not just about you, but people also want to see who is she working with, who has she recommended, right? It all showcases your thought leadership and expertise. Now, one more thing you can see on recommendations, you can see it here, it says show all pending. So let's look at the show all pending. And so you can see I just received a recommendation, or actually I received it on October 21st from Dominique Narciso, or Narciso, sorry, Dominique, if you're watching this. So Dominique, I spoke at one of the events about pivoting my career to becoming a LinkedIn thought leadership coach. It was her summit. And then Dominique wrote me a recommendation, right? So she sent it to me. And you can see Nyna spoke at my live new story virtual event on pivoting to thought and LinkedIn lessons learned. So I'll read it. If I like it, I will add it to my profile. If I don't like it, I can ask for a revision. So you can see it gives you the option to ask for a revision. Maybe sometimes you get a recommendation from someone, you don't even know who this person is, or they've not written anything of value to you, and you just don't want it, you could dismiss it. In this case, Dominique's recommendation looks good, so I don't need to ask for a revision. But if we were to ask for a revision, I'm curious what it would do. So we'd say ask for a revision, and then it'll pull this up, and then it'll say, hey, can you please, Wesley, could you change? So it lets you tell the person what you want them to change. Maybe you need them to add something, maybe you need them to edit something, maybe they're typos. So there's so many options, right? But this is fantastic again, so you don't need to accept it right off the bat. You have that additional opportunity. What I like about it, you don't have to send the person a separate email or a DM. You can do it right there on LinkedIn under recommendations. But I don't need a revision from Dominique, so I'm going to get out of this and I'm just going to add it to my profile. And then I see some people have asked me to recommend them. Now, these I missed. I wasn't that active on LinkedIn in 2019. Now, something that would have been helpful is, and I'm going to just get out of this, would be, that's why it's important to send people a DM and an email, and also let them know what you want to, what you want them to say in the recommendation. Actually, give them an outline. You don't want to write the recommendation for them. You want it to be in their own words, and maybe they have something to say that you haven't even thought of. But to make sure your request for recommendations are seen by the LinkedIn user, make sure you also send them a DM so they can expect, they know that you'll be sending them one, so it doesn't get lost in the pending like you saw a few of mine did. And most of those people did not say what they wanted me to recommend them for. So make it easy for the person. All right, so that is it for now. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions, let me know in the comments of this video, and I will see you soon with another tip on LinkedIn. All right, bye for now.